Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another episode of Magic Duels. So for today's episode we're back with the dodge and burn style control deck. And this is actually a pretty good opening hand to start off with. So we've got the Abbot of Kerrol Keep, a Fiery Impulse, we've now got two lots of counter as well, so we're looking in a pretty good place right now. We're going to play the red mana first just so we can potentially play the Fiery Impulse on the upcoming turn. Almost don't want to play Abbot of Kerrol Keep on turn 2, but I think we're going to have to, unless, no, we won't play Fiery Impulse right now. There's no point really, I'm going to be honest. I might as well play it when I can actually use it to buff up my Abbot of Kerrol Keep. So, ooh, we've actually managed to find a second one, which is pretty sweet. So I don't actually mind playing you out now. I mean, a bit of what I'm going to find, but I doubt it's anything I can play. So, Mage Wing Bully, it's not the end of the world. We've got two prowess creatures down, so I'm fairly happy with what I've got. We do have the Fiery Impulse potentially next turn to destroy whatever he plays, and then swing with the Abbot afterwards. Okay, so he's played Flaring Flamekin, which is definitely something that I would very much like to burn. So we'll be able to play Abbot of Kerrol Keep this upcoming turn. So we'll skip blocking for obvious reasons. I mean, I could kill it now. Could also work, but nah, it's fine. So we can now burn it and then swing for 3. So we'll play the Abbot out first, just in case we find a mana to play. See what we find. Anything good? Oh no! Goodbye Ulamog. That's a shame. So we're about to exile our Ulamog, which is kind of annoying, but never mind. It's not the end of the world. We do have two two Abbots instead, so wow, that's really disappointing. I realise my microphone is slipping a little bit, so I'm just going to adjust that real quick. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit higher now. It just looked like it was like about to start falling. Sometimes I just don't tighten up the screw on the boom mic enough, and it kind of like look down and it's like slipped below where I'd consider it appropriate. Okay, so he's playing Inferno Fist. It's kind of alright, so I wonder if he's going to swing. Which he is. We're not going to block, obviously. So let the 3 damage go through. Is he going to play out anything that requires, what, 1 red mana? So he's played out a Kythian, so he can still potentially sack the Inferno Fist. So what we're going to do here is probably just Skyline Cascade you. And then just burn the Kythian. So he's probably going to burn one of my Abbots, which I kind of expected there. We do have a Brutal Expulsion, which is quite nice. So even if he plays, for example, another creature next turn, we can bounce it and also burn a creature as well. So we're just going to swing with our Abbot, like so. Yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that Ulamog is in the exile pile, but, you know, when you play something like Abbot of Kerrol Keep, you've got to be prepared to exile something far less useful than, say, like a mana or something like that. Okay, so he's played Dragon Fodder. Interesting. So I could potentially Brutal Expulsion these two. I found Inspiration, so I could... do I Brutal Expulsion both of the tokens? I think that's probably a good idea. So we're going to return and deal 2 damage and hit finish. So we're going to do you and you. Doesn't really matter which way around we do it, because they both get destroyed essentially, because you can't bounce a token. There we go. So we've still got 2 counters open, which I don't think is as important in a deck coming up against like an aggressive Boros deck. We do have the Inspiration to draw 2 cards next turn potentially, and then also use it to pump apart Abbot. So he's going to put another Inferno Fist on the Anointer of Champions, and he's going to swing with it. So we're going to go down to 13. And then we're probably going to just... Okay, so we've got the mana, which is fairly cool. Now, do I just inspire myself and swing? I think I'm just going to do that. So it's going to inspire now. So he's going to Inferno Fist the 2-1, which is what I expected, really. So you're going to get burned. That's fine. We're just going to inspire, draw 2 cards. We're not in a bad place right now, I'm going to be honest. Okay, so we found a Skyline Cascade and a Mountain this turn instead. I think my mic's slipping again. I'll probably have to tighten up properly in between matches. It's found another Inferno Fist. That's absolutely crazy. At least we can tap it down for 2 turns after this. So we're gonna go down to 10, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so yeah, we'll just play the Skyline Cascade on you. Okay, my mic's slipping too much now. I'm gonna have to do it again. 2 seconds, guys. Okay, that should be okay now. Okay, so he's found Exquisite Firecraft, and we're just going to Scatter to the Winds. Actually cancel. Pause you again. We're just going to Spell Shrivel. Just because we don't have the 6 mana open to actually take advantage of the Awaken. So I'd rather Spell Shrivel it because he can't pay the 4 mana to... sorry about that. Pay the 4 mana to uncounter it anyway. Okay, so we found another Inspiration. Now, do I save open a... Can I play both Scatter to the Winds and Inspiration? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I can. Or Spell Shrivel and Inspiration. So I think we'll just do that. So that's going to get untapped this turn. So I almost want to like inspire myself now, just in case I find a burn spell. So we're just going to do that. See what we find. I mean, we still got Spell Shrivel. Didn't find what we wanted, so we're gonna lose 3 health here. Can this target a player? Yeah, it can target a player. So he's getting fairly close to being able to burn me down. And we're just going to Spell Shrivel you. So I might have to just use the Jessian Thief as a blocker against the 3-1. So play out the Mountain, play out the Jessian Thief. Although, potentially if he plays something here, I can also just counter it, which will actually give my Jessian Thief a buff. Let's see what he does. Wondering what that last card is. We have to block this. Basically, we can't let this 3 damage go through. Although he might... He's going to swing. Okay. So we are going to block that. It has to be a sacrifice. We can't afford to take that 3 damage right now. We're going to draw. Just another land. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we would actually be like 1... We've actually got enough mana for Olimog. It's a shame that he actually got exiled rather than we drew it, but... Never mind. It's not the end of the world. He's got nothing by the looks of things, so... Cool, we found Measuring Bully, so we can play you out. We do have a Scatter to the Winds open, which we can actually awaken as well, so we'll just hold open the island to make him think we've got something else. But we should be looking at winning this now. We've got the tools to do so. Has he got anything? I'm guessing all he's got is enchantments maybe, and he actually can't play it on a creature. And we're just finding more and more mana now, so that's kind of hilarious that we could have played on a Mog. Oops, daisy, what am I doing? Come on, attack. There we go. So we're bringing down to 9. So yeah, we could do with something like an Exquisite Firecraft now. Would be quite nice to kind of get him really, really close to burn range. Scatter to the Winds will help, as if he... no, but he still has nothing, so I'm assuming he's either got land or just a load of enchantments, and all we're drawing is a load of land, so we're flooding out a wee bit now. We're just going to keep plugging away with the Measuring Bully. Like so, we'll just hold open the mana, okay, making him think we've actually got something useful rather than just 3 lands in hand. He's got to play something soon, surely. So he's found a Molten Vortex, and we're just going to Scatter to the Winds that and awaken it. Well, awaken you. Which will get us 5 damage next turn, which is pretty sweet. So we've got 5 damage coming from the Measuring Bully and the island. And he's got an Exquisite Firecraft, so I'm guessing he's going to destroy... He's going to do it directly to my face. Okay, interesting. So I don't think I would have been able to counter that anyway, by the looks of things. I don't know. Excellent, we've actually managed to find a Spell Shrivel, which is going to be useful in case he's got, for example, another Exquisite Firecraft. Thankfully, we've actually managed to find another counter. So, providing he doesn't have, like, 2... what's the one I'm looking for? 2 Twin Bolts, we should be okay. Although he's used both Exquisite Firecrafts now. Okay, and he's actually been replaced by the AI, so he's probably realised that there's nothing that he can do. So yeah, awesome. So that's a win for game number 1 today, so I'd like to see. Managed to stall out an aggressive deck with our control. Shame Ulamog ended up in the graveyard, because we actually could have played him by now, but it's not the end of the world. So let's move on to game number 2. Okay guys, here we are for game number 2. We're playing a rank 19, I will double check his name in a moment. But yeah, this hand is definitely a keeper. We've got 3 mana, we've got Soulblade Djinn, so like a kind of a late game heavy hitter. Telling Time as well, which is pretty useful. So start off with the red mana, doesn't really matter too much. We're playing Miguel Rio Jabanito. That sounds quite Spanish, or what's I'm looking for? Spanish or Southern American, so one of those countries like Argentina, Brazil, something like that. Okay, so play the island, and then we might play Telling Time. Oh no, we've got Matron Bully. What am I thinking? We drew into that. It's pretty cool. So we've got ourselves a prowess creature pretty much straight away, which is what we want to see in this deck. One of our prowess creatures down fairly close to the beginning of the game, just so we can start swinging with that. Once we play our burn spells. Okay, never mind, he's played Reef Soul. So maybe we should have played Telling Time instead, but you get what you're given. We're going to find a red mana. Good. An untapped land, so I don't have to play my Skyline Cascade out quite yet. Do have the Spell Shrivel out in case he decides to play something that we don't want to see. So is he going to play anything? Nope, so we are going to Telling Time. Try and find something, so we'll keep Disciple of the Ring, and we will also keep Exquisite Firecraft. Perfect. Very nice, that's what I'd like to see. So I think we'll just play out the Skyline Cascade and then hold open the mana for the Spell Shrivel, as we've got nothing else we can play anyway. We've also got Exquisite Firecraft for dealing with, I don't know, like a big threat, something like that. We've also found Disciple of the Ring, which is also useful. So I am likely to Spell Shrivel you now while you're not hexproof, as I can't burn you. So I'd rather just counter that now. Come on, 1 mana, Soulblade Djinn would be nice. Nope, we've got another counter though, so quite happy with that. So yeah, we're just waiting for the 5th mana now so we can get like Soulblade Djinn down and then just start swinging overhead every turn. That I don't really care too much for. He can have his Eldrazi Scion creature tokens. I don't really think it's worth countering, I'm going to be honest. Mana? Nope, we have found Ulamog though, which is interesting. So if we can get up to 10 mana, which we did last game, you know, I wouldn't mind flooding out now, if I'm going to be honest. It's one of the few times I'm like, please flood out all of a sudden. We've got Ulamog in hand. So we'll hold open Spell Shrivel in case he plays something else, which he did not. Don't really care too much for the Eldrazi Scions. Okay, we've got the Abbot, so we'll definitely be playing you out this turn. Hopefully he can find a mana. We won't be exiling Ulamog this turn. And we've found Twin Bolt, so we will actually play you just because otherwise it's going to get exiled. So don't really want to waste it, if I'm going to be honest. Just burn him for 1 in the face. I thought that was worthwhile, you know, otherwise all we're doing is exiling it, so I may as well make use of the mana. I mean, we don't have the ability to counter anything now, but we do have plenty of burn. Hopefully we draw into a mana next turn. Okay, so he's played Guiltleaf Winnower, so at least we can burn you down with the Exquisite Firecraft in the upcoming turn, which is pretty sweet. I mean, I'd almost like to play Soulblade Djinn out first, so he can't bring anything back with Mortuary Mire, which is nice. So he's played that out, and then the Guiltleaf Winnower will probably die. Okay, so as much as I'd like to play out Jessian Thief, I think it's probably more important to just burn down the 4/3 Guiltleaf Winnower and then play this out next turn. Hopefully we draw into a mana next turn as well. I mean, I'd almost rather just play out like Soulblade Djinn next turn, if we get the 5th mana, just so I can actually start swinging above whatever he might play. Okay, so he's played Erebos' Titan, which is not particularly good for us, as at the moment I've got no way of dealing with it. So we're going to take 1 damage from the Scion. We could play like Disciple of the Ring out potentially. Oh, thank God for that, finally. So do I play Soulblade Djinn out and try and race him down? Oh, or do I? No, Jetting Thief I don't think is the play here. So I think Soul Bludgeon is probably something that we need to do to actually start racing him down. So he's going to get another Scion creature here. So how much has he got? 1, 2... Okay, so he's playing out Liliana. Okay, interesting. So how much mana has he got? 1, 2, 3... So he's probably almost got enough for Ulamog, if he has Ulamog, that is. So he's going to swing with all of them. I can block one of the Scions, I suppose. Which would result in Liliana flipping, so I'm almost tempted not to do that. And then... No, I think we're going to have to. Liliana flipping isn't the end of the world. I can always like burn her down using the Soul Blade Gym. Okay, so Liliana didn't flip. Is that oh, it has to be non-token, doesn't it? Of course. So, do I go for Disciple of the Ring and then keep, for example, the Erebos' Titan tapped down next turn? I think that could be a good play. We can also counter things as well, like spells and stuff. So, yeah, I think Disciple of the Ring is probably the play here. And then we're just going to swing with the Soul Blade Jin above his head. And we're just going to tap down the Erebos' Titan next turn with the Disciple of the Ring. We do have plenty of spells in my opponent's in my graveyard, sorry, to keep it tapped down. So, for example, we're going to wait until we've got priority. So that won't happen until he has played. I want to see if what he might play out first. If he's going to play out anything pre-combat. See what he does. So now we have priority. We can then tap target creature. So he's going to tap you down. Get rid of Telling Time. It's probably the least useful of all the ones that we might ever want to kind of like bounce back using Jace or anything like that. Okay, so we sacrificed the From Beyond. So I'm guessing Ulamog. There comes Ulamog. That's kind of sad panda. So we know that these two could potentially die next turn. We do have Scatter to the Winds and Spell Shrivel out. So how much has he got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we want to kill the... what's the word I'm looking for? We really want to kill the Scions this turn. So if I just swing with the Soul Blade Gym and Twin Bolts to the Scions. So it's going to Twin Bolt you and you. Which basically means that he can't actually then play out Ulamog. Thankfully. Now swing for 5. We have the Disciple of the Ring to again tap down. What's what I'm looking for? My brain's gone totally fuzzy. Tap down the Erebos' Titan again. So we're just going to hold some mana open here to counter with the Spell Shrivel. So again, we're just going to tap down the Erebos' Titan once we've got priority, so we shall do that. Just tap you down, we'll get rid of Spell Shrivel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we could potentially win next turn. Just because of the fact we've got potentially enough on the board to push it through. Do I tap down these two now and then play? So because it's my turn next, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap you with Twin Bolt and then tap you down as well with the Twin Bolt. So these both get tapped down. There we go. We'll then get... We're going to get Brutal Expulsion, perfect, because this will actually then trigger the Soul Blade Jin. So we shall then, so we'll do both. Finish. So we shall choose a spell or creature to return to its owner's hand, which will be the Erebos' Titan. We'll kill off the Scion, which will trigger these two. And then what we do is then just pump up the Disciple of the Ring, get rid of Brutal Expulsion. Perfect. And then we swing for lethal. Whew. Thank God for that. I think we managed to prevent Ulamog coming down. My god, that was tense. I was like, oh god, we're on a counter here. But I'm probably going to leave it here for now. We've been playing about 20 minutes, and that's kind of taken more out of me. You know, trying to survive. You know, Ulamog could potentially be coming down any moment, and we managed to stall him out thanks to the controls. So I rather enjoyed those 2 games, and I hope you did too. As always, guys, don't forget to comment and like if you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.